Okay, so we are going to jump right into the empties and literally buckle in because this is insane. I just counted and there's like around 80 different scents to go over, which is insane. Of course that makes sense because I had a ton of samples this month, right? But let's dive in, and I'm gonna start first with 4 samples that I had from Destination Wax. If you guys are not at all interested in hearing my thoughts on samples, then I can try to give like a timestamp of when that's done. But I mean, I'm going to start with most of the samples and then end with like the samplers. So let's jump in. I've got, the first one is That Man in Granada, I believe is how it's pronounced, Granada. It is That Man mixed with spiced pomegranate cider, fruity fresh, and a bright cologne note. I melted this in my office and I really did enjoy it. It was like exactly what it said, like a fruity, slightly cologne, kind of like peppery kind of note behind like the fruitiness. It was interesting, and I think I would repurchase this, but I would probably melt it in the bathroom over like having it in like my office bedroom kind of area. So I did enjoy it though, and it was a good medium performer. This one here is Take a Letter Maria, which is sweet tart passion fruit and fragrant tea roses. I'm usually not a big fan of like rose scents, but this one, because it was blended with like passion fruit, like the fruitiness, it was not very like headache inducing or sharp floral. It was more of like a fruity floral, something that you could imagine being like a Bath & Body Works body care scent type of smell. I liked it. I would repurchase this, and that's surprising for it being like a rose-based scent. This one was a little bit of a disappointment. This is Chamomile Tea. It is Chamomile Tea Spa, a lovely spa scent, sweet and fresh. I did enjoy this, but it was just so light that I kind of had to be like in the room, shut it in. Like when I was like doing my hair, I could smell this, like when I shut myself in the room, but it really wasn't very strong. And then like later on throughout the day, usually when I go in and out of the bathroom, I can kind of remember what I put in because I can smell it. This one kind of lacked that pow after the initial like maybe hour of it. So that was a little bit of a bummer, but it's probably just like on its own, like tea is, I think, a lighter kind of scent in nature. So maybe that's why. This one is Aberdeen, which is a fresh blend of lavender, cedar, green herbs, and earth. Aberdeen, Aberdeen. This one I wasn't a super big fan of, but Tom really mentioned that he liked it. And in fact, there was one time where we were both sharing the bathroom, just getting ready. And I was like, I don't think I really like the scent today. And he was like, really? That's crazy because I love it. And I was like, okay, interesting. This one definitely, I mean, maybe it was a lavender that I could pick up that I didn't love, or like the herbs. But this was like something that reminded me of like being outside in like an herb garden, and like you could almost smell like, it did say dirt, right? Earth. You could almost smell like the dirt from like, you know, the earth, or like you were planting the herbs. It was definitely very green, very herbal. Just, it was so interesting, and it wasn't a favorite of mine. I definitely feel like, yeah, I don't think I would personally go out and repurchase this, but I may eventually, just because I know Tom really enjoyed it. And that was also a very strong one. So kind of on the opposite spectrum of like the chamomile tea. When I would go in and out of the bathroom all day, I would smell it and be like, oh, I'm not sure. It wasn't bad, but it was just very herbal. All right, so next we have a ton of samples here from the Bathing Garden, which of course, some of these I did take notes on, but I tried to pull the ones that I've melted more like recently towards the top here so I can remember. First one is Breath of Lucifer, which I think was part of like the Halloween sampler. This one I want to say is like a marshmallow fireside with maybe like a cinnamon note or like a clove note. I liked it, but maybe for a different time of year, I probably would have enjoyed it more. This one is Pink Candy Queen, and this was a snow, like a lush dupe of Snow Fairy, which is like a bubblegummy cotton candy type of scent. This was like an exact dupe of that, so I melted that in my bathroom, and it was a good like medium performer in there, so I enjoyed that. This one here is Elderberry Lemonade. Now this one I literally just put in like about an hour before, and I haven't been into the bathroom to really see how this one is doing, but I will either leave it in a comment or like something, you know, above here, or a pinned comment or somewhere in this video to let you guys know how I feel about this one. But on cold snap, really do enjoy it. So excited to see how that one performs, but it is empty. So I'm sticking it in here so I can toss that. This one is Melting Butter Hearts. Now I had like a lot more hope for this one because I really enjoy it on cold. It is definitely like a very creamy, sweet. I'm not sure if there's pink sugar in here, but it's like a very sweet vanilla with like a touch of something else going on in there. I want to say it's a pink sugar and vanilla maybe blend. Either way, I was hoping this would be stronger. I did put it in my bathroom, or my bedroom, so maybe it was too big of a space. Maybe this would have been better suited for like my office area, which is a little bit smaller, or I don't know, maybe the bathroom, even though I feel like vanilla isn't like something I love in the bathroom, but it's not that strong, which is kind of a bummer, but that's all right. This one here is Voodoo Doll. This is kind of similar to that last one, the Melting Butter Hearts, where it's like, I feel like it was like a vanilla-ish type of base to it. And the same goes for this next one, which is Unrelenting Mummy Dust. I feel like all of these, like the Melting Butter Hearts, the Voodoo Doll, and the Unrelenting Mummy Dust, these were all like kind of more like a vanilla-y type scent. And these were all a little bit lighter. I think just like because that's a vanilla scent sometimes can be a little bit lighter. I think out of all of them, the one I maybe enjoyed the most would be the Voodoo Doll. That one definitely had a little bit more strength to it. And almost like, I don't even know if maybe there's like a sweet floral in the Voodoo Doll. A lot of these don't, that you can't find the notes for these anymore since they were just samples and they're no longer on the website. So that's a bit of a bummer. If any of you guys are familiar and maybe do know the notes of these, drop it in a comment. That would be super appreciated, especially for other people who are curious. But either way, those probably wouldn't be repurchases just because they were a little bit lighter. We have No Exit, which this one I even put on the back. Can't remember. This one I melted earlier on and just like totally slipped my memory. Must not have been a strong one. Oblivion, also could not remember what that one smelled like. Totally left my memory. This one is Apple Berry Manor. This one I definitely remember. This reminded me of like an applesauce kind of a scent. Like maybe like a little bit of cinnamon. Yeah, definitely cinnamon. Like a cinnamony cooked, definitely a cooked apple, warm, hot apple sauce kind of, or like the filling of an apple pie type of scent. That's what the Apple Berry Manor reminded me of. Fairy Kisses. This one I said, now we're getting into the older scents here. I said really nice, and I recognized the scent, but I could not place it. So Fairy Kisses. If you guys know what the scent notes are on this one, I'd be curious, because I do feel like this was like familiar to my nose. I just couldn't, like I said, couldn't place it. I feel like there's something almost like kind of like tart about it, but yeah, that was very interesting. Night at the Circus. This one I said Summer Boardwalk Dupe ? I blended this one with the circus spread one day in my bedroom, and I really did enjoy that combination. Circus spread is I want to say that this is a what is it called, zucchini bread scent with like a strawberry like note in here, right? Strawberry or raspberry. It's definitely like a zucchini bread with some kind of a berry note. And these together in my bedroom one day, I really did enjoy. So definitely like reminded me of scents that you would smell if you were like around like a carnival or circus or something like that. Very sweet. This one is Rose Glacé, which is, I said, so, all caps, so strong and a very realistic rose. So I think that this one also might be like a dupe for maybe a Lush scent, right? But very, very, very realistic, like rose. Like it smelled like I was sticking my nose in a fresh rose. So that was a little bit too much for me, but I'm getting a little bit more okay with rose scents. So I probably wouldn't repurchase that one, but it was okay. This one I did like. I even put on the back, surprisingly liked. So this is lemon curd and rose milk. And it was creamy sweet lemon with a hint of rose. And I said I surprisingly really liked this. This, over all of the rose scents that I tried, I think this would be the one that I'd probably be more likely to repurchase first. Because yeah, I liked that combination. I would have never ever thought to mix rose and lemon. Like, I definitely would not have thought that that would be a good combo, but I liked it. It was really good. Then this one here is salted caramel popcorn. I do have this in a larger size, and I'm gonna have to make sure I melt this when I'm doing like a movie night with friends or like a movie night with Tom or something, because I wrote, holy moly, this is a realistic popcorn scent, strong and long lasting. If you guys are on the hunt for a realistic popcorn scent, this is the one. Salted caramel popcorn. You definitely get the caramel note, but you absolutely get like a buttery popcorn scent as well. And the popcorn is like an authentic popcorn scent. I want to say that this was a part of her like Carnival Circus collection, right? That she always does, that they always do. So if you guys are popcorn lovers, then get that one. It was crazy strong and crazy authentic. Then finally, for the Bathing Garden samples, I have Sleepy. And this one I said also surprisingly enjoyed and would buy. So I'm going to have to like pull out all the ones that I was like surprised by at the end and just kind of like make a note to myself to get those. But this one I really liked, and I want to say this had like lavender in it, possibly lavender, peppermint, chamomile, maybe something like that. And I really liked this, which totally shocked me because I normally don't like those types of scents. But yeah, that one was really nice. Okay, a couple of random bags here. We've got two from that Smell Good shop. The first sample is Coastal Cal, Blackberry, and Pandemonium. This was like a customer blend that I got as a sample, and I said quite strong, juicy and fresh, and would repurchase. This was one that I actually found to be like a standout that I really enjoyed. And on top of that, out of all of like the samples that I melted, especially like in my bathroom, I found that these two little samples that I received from the Bathing Garden, or that Smell Good shop, were some of the strongest, best performing samples. So I've always had such great performance with that Smell Good shop, so it wasn't that much of a surprise, but it reminded me that I need to start pulling out some more of my stuff from this vendor because I do really enjoy it and it performs so well, pretty consistently. So yeah, this one I would absolutely repurchase. And then this one here, maybe not a repurchase, but I feel like there's definitely a time and place for this type of scent. And this one is Downy Clean Breeze Ultimate Lemon and Avo Bath or Avo Bath. I said really strong and really cleanery. So pretty much smelled like I had just scrubbed the bathroom top to bottom. So for that reason, loved it. Some days you just really crave a fresh, clean scent for space, like a bathroom especially. And this did the trick. So if you want to fake people out and make them think that you just had done like a full-blown wash the wall situation in your bathroom, then this would be good for that. But really did enjoy this, but wouldn't be something that I would need to like have on hand all the time, but possibly would repurchase this in the future. I also have Pumpkin Pecan Waffles from L3 Waxy Wonders, and this was the first time that I'd ever had this scent by itself, like not blended with other things. And I know I say that now, but I did go ahead and blend this myself with another scent that I was curious to see how it would go together, which is the Jam scent from Southbound. And let me see if I can find that here. Sweet Berry Jam. Okay, so I melted these two together, right? Sweet Berry Jam, which is sweet strawberries, blackberries, and raspberry jams all blended together with the pumpkin pecan waffles. This was incredible. 100% I could smell the pumpkin pecan waffles, and I'm a little bit picky when it comes to that because I don't even really love the pumpkin pecan waffle like original scent from Bath and Body Works. Sometimes I feel like it's a little too like bread heavy, which is strange. But this was like delicious and sweet, very sweet. And then paired with this, it was a knockout. I would definitely do this together again. I believe that I have a clamshell of the scent, but I do think that eventually once I'm off of this low buy, I'm gonna probably seek out at least a medium-sized quantity of the pumpkin pecan waffle scent on its own because I really, really enjoyed that. That was amazing. So this would definitely be, both of those would be a repurchase. Two here that are super random. This one is Super Tarts Xander. I'm not sure the scent notes on this, but I also, when I put this in the warmer, I really didn't smell anything. I think maybe it was like a hint of a coffee scent, but really didn't pick up too much. I think that was probably just my fault because I never melted it. I put that off. That was probably like 3 or 4 years old by now. So I'll take responsibility for that one. This one is Dessa's Homespun Scents Sweet on Paris. And I will say this was a sample size. And when I smelled it in the bag on cold initially, I was like, that doesn't smell like Sweet on Paris. It had like this weird kind of other layer to the scent that I didn't recognize and I thought was definitely not it. But then when I melted it, it did turn into Sweet on Paris. I was like, oh, there it is. Okay, I was worried. So that weird scent that I picked up in the bag, and maybe it was just the bag. I don't know. I don't think so, but that kind of went away. I really love Sweet on Paris, and I think that was pretty much just like a plain classic, what you are used to when you smell like other vendor Sweet on Paris oils. So I liked it a lot because I do like Sweet on Paris. And then I have 4 scents from Empire Alchemy, 3 of which were like the double heart shapes. So I used pretty much all of these either in my bedroom warmers or in my kitchen warmers. This first one here is Jasmine, which is Boughs of Jasmine Blooms. And I said that this was a strong and beautiful jasmine, sweet and not a sharp floral. Sometimes you can get those with flower, like floral scents. But this was a sweeter side, not a sharp. So would possibly repurchase this one in the future as well. This one is Locals Only, which is dried mandarin, tarragon, and patchouli, caramel, tobacco, and a hint of coffee. I said definitely would repurchase, strong and so unique. This was really good. So I feel like this one was so strange because of the mix. I mean, tobacco, coffee, patchouli, caramel, mandarin. It was so odd, but it kind of reminded me of being on like the Venice boardwalk and like being near people who are like, you could smell like patchouli on them. But you could also smell like maybe you would just went and got a coffee from a coffee shop. You could smell like sweetness, but like earthiness. It was just good, really good, like a great scent. Super interesting, would definitely repurchase that one. And then this one is one of my top favorites out of the whole month of melting. This was a knockout. I absolutely need to seek this one out as soon as my no buy is over. This is Coastline Trail. Obsession is an understatement of how I feel about this scent. 10 out of 10 favorite repurchase I put. That's all I put on the back. It was incredible. So the notes are cedar, patchouli, eucalyptus, and cliffside air with fresh woods. This was like outdoorsy and like earthy and sweet, and there was the eucalyptus. It kind of reminded me of, and this is a weird thing, kind of reminds me of having Vicks Vapor Rub like on your body and then going for a walk in the woods. And I know that sounds so weird, but like the smell of Vicks Vapor Rub really reminds me of like my mom and my family and like being little, because my mom would always smother me in that whenever I was sick. So it reminds me of that, which Vicks always just opens your nose and makes you like breathe better. And then like pair that with like an outdoorsy scent. It just really makes you feel like you are like one with nature. Like it just like opens up your nostrils, and then it's like crisp and clean. Not clean, but like it's like this crisp outdoorsiness. I can't explain it. This is phenomenally done. What an incredible blend. If you had told me that I would love this as much as I did on cold sniff, I would not have believed you, because I was like, yeah, it's fine. Threw this in the warmer and it blew my mind. So favorite, need to repurchase that. This one was not a favorite, which is funny because I thought that this one would be a favorite. This is Sequoia from also Empire Alchemy, and it is fragrant redwood, pine needles, dried apple, and pine cone woods. And I don't know, I thought in the bag, like on cold sniff, it's a lot sweeter. And then when I stuck it in the warmer, there was something that came across very sharp to my nose. maybe the pine needle. I'm not entirely sure what it was, but there was something that slightly transformed into a scent that I wasn't like in love with. Was not a dislike by any means. It wasn't like, oh, I hate it, got to pull it out of the warmers. Not at all. But it didn't blow me away as much as I thought it would. Like on this one, I didn't think it would blow me away, and it did. So these kind of did like weird opposite things for me. Still enjoyed this, but I don't know if I would repurchase this. I definitely would repurchase this. But yeah, kind of funny. But yeah, there's my thoughts on that. 3 here from Hayden Rowe Candle Co. I have Avo Bath, which this one just smelled like the classic scent that everybody's used to. The Avo Bath, very fresh, very clean. Very like, you know, lemony type cleaner. This one definitely had like a little bit more of a sweetness. I have smelled some Avo Baths that I feel like are sharper. This was a little bit sweeter. So liked that a lot. Seaside Barber. This one was surprising because typically anything that's got like sea in the name or like seaside in the notes, I tend to like kind of like be a little bit about, because usually that means there's going to be a salty sea air note in it, which I don't usually love. And I do think there was salty sea air maybe in this, possibly a little bit. But I surprisingly really liked this. It was like it did kind of smell like something you would imagine like a barbershop maybe on the seaside. It was like clean, not even, I wouldn't say masculine, but there was a bit of like it's like if you had a man who had like an aquatic scented like aftershave and he just washed his face. You know, this doesn't make any sense. There is something seasidey about it, and I think it is a salty sea air note, but mixed with like that fresh, sweet kind of like almost like shaving cream, like aftershave kind of a scent. Not like cologne-y aftershave, but like a sweet, like this is a weird memory, but my grandpa, when I would give my grandpa like a kiss on the cheek after he had shaved, it would smell like sweet, like a sweet, such a weird scent memory. But you guys, I don't know how to describe this. Maybe you'll understand me. Like a sweet man's cheek. Such a weird thing with a bit of like a seasidey kind of like freshness. I really liked this. I surprisingly really liked this, and I feel like that for me is so weird because I'll have to look up the notes. If there is salty sea air in this, I'm gonna be like, who am I? Because it's odd for me to like, but I liked it. It was really good. And then also this one is Shorts and Sweater from Hayden Rowe. And this one, I said I really liked it, but I would want to purchase more to get a better idea of how much I like it. This one, I unfortunately stuck in my bathroom warmer on a day that I was super busy and I was in and out of the house. And I remember somebody commented and said that they think that I would like this. And I absolutely will be repurchasing or purchasing more stuff from Hayden Rowe in the future. And if I see this one come around, I'm going to want to grab more because I liked it, but I wasn't around it enough to be like, okay, do I love it though? You know what I mean? So Shorts and Sweater, I'd like to look more into that one in the future. I also forgot, I do have another scent from Hayden Rowe. This is Fizzy Pop, which is just like, you know, the classic Fizzy Pop oil. Good performer. All of the Hayden Rowe ones were also like medium strong performers in my bathroom. So did enjoy this. But Fizzy Pop isn't like a certain scent oil, like fragrance oil that I love and I feel like I crave. So probably wouldn't necessarily reach out and repurchase just that one on its own. I've got a handful here from Birdie's Making Scent 3 here. So I have a sample of cappuccino, espresso, fudge brownie, and salted caramel. And this one I said was very chocolatey, but it was a well done chocolate. So I like this one. I would possibly repurchase that one, but wouldn't like actively like seek it out, like need to repurchase now. But it was a very well done chocolate. So chocolate can be real difficult in wax. You guys know that. This one is also from Birdie's. It is Cherry Almond, Serendipity, and Cotton Candy. This one here, unfortunately, was kind of similar to the other scent where I was in and out of the house all day. So I really didn't get a whole idea of the performance and if this would want, you know, be a repurchase for me in the future. I even said like only caught the tail end of it. So that was my bad, but I really do enjoy like all of these scents separately, and on cold I really liked it, but it was my bad. I mean, I'm sure you guys understand this. Some days are busier than others, and you just can't kind of sit and enjoy the scents like you would like to, you know? Like some days I switch out the scents and then life just kind of gets busy and I can't really, you know, sit and enjoy them, or like work from home and enjoy them. Some days I need to be like out and about doing things more. So kind of a bummer, but sometimes that's how it goes. This one, boy, oh boy, you couldn't miss this even if you tried. This is Blackberry Fizz from Birdie's Making Sense. I said strong, really nice, and I'm not even a fizzy pop person. So if I were to repurchase any of the fizzy pop based scents from this month's melting basket, it would be this one, because of the strength of this and the addition of the blackberry note, which I'm not sure if the blackberry in this is separate from like, I don't know if this is like fizzy pop added to a blackberry or like a specific like fizzy blackberry scent. But it was good. I mean, I can't really smell it now, but it was very good, and enough that I would possibly repurchase this one. But I don't know if I'll actively seek it out, just because fizzy pop as a whole isn't like a favorite of mine. Okay, so I've got a ton here from Southbound because I did purchase a Southbound sampler. So a couple things. Let me pull out the one that I have melting right now. So I have Purple Cow going in my office right now. I'm going to have to do the similar thing that I did to the elderberry lemonade scent there, and kind of like leave it either here above me or in like a pinned comment somewhere to tell you guys what I think about this one once it's warmed up. But on cold, I love the scent. Purple Cow is grape popsicles and vanilla ice cream. It's an enjoyable scent, and it's like a single fragrance oil that's out there in the wax world. But I don't see it as much anymore, and I really do like it. I'll follow up and let you guys know if I still feel it the same way after it's been warming more. But based on cold, this is a scent that I really like, and I'd like to see more in the wax world. Yeah, anyway, especially for the summer months, I feel like that's such a great, like, fun, fruity, sweet scent. Anyway, I've got, let's start off with this one. This is Blow Pops, which is super sweet cherry sucker with a yummy fruit flavored bubble gum inside. This one I didn't love. I thought I would like it more. It definitely smelled like it was a sweet cherry scent. It didn't come across like a cough medicine cherry or anything to me. It almost reminded me though of I don't know, there's something a little bit darker about it, like almost like, yes, it was kind of cherry, but it was like a darker cherry, not that bright, sweet cherry. I don't know. It wasn't a favorite though. I don't think I would repurchase that one. Sometimes you just, you know, sometimes they're not your favorites. But it was a good performer. That was like strong. All of these Southbound ones were either medium or like medium strong. None of these really were like way too light. Okay, maybe I think this one might have been a little bit sweeter, but either way, they were all on the pretty good end. This one, now that I'm saying that, this one I did struggle with a little bit, but I think that this one was my fault. It is Good Morning Sunshine, strawberry, orange juice, and creamy vanilla smoothie. And this one I did, there was 2 little ice cream shapes in here, and I split them between 2 hot plates in my kitchen. I think the space was too big. I don't think I had enough wax. So I think this was my fault. It was a little bit of like a sweet scent in the air, but I think that this would have been better suited for a smaller space. So I think I messed up there. But I was just like, I really want to try this in this space. But it didn't really work. But one that did work in there is Sugar Rush. So this one also had 2 shapes, 2 like skeleton, like skull faces. And these were like 2 pretty big size skulls. So I stuck these in the same way I did to the other scent that I just talked about. And this one did perform better, which you would even think that this is like a lighter, you would, at least I thought this was like a lighter seeming scent, because it's cotton candy, vanilla, strawberry, cherry, and sweet sugar crystal confection. But this was really strong, and I really like this, and I would absolutely repurchase this scent. I mean, It wasn't like blowing me out of the house strong, but for the size of the melts and the area, I was very impressed with this and I would repurchase it in a larger size. That is Sugar Rush from Southbound. Oh, this was so good. This was strawberry pound cake from Southbound. Creamy pound cake topped with strawberries and sweet cream. I mean, this is the Bath & Body Works dupe scent, but I haven't melted this on its own or burnt the candle of this in such a long time. And I forgot how amazing the scent is. This made me want to go burn my candle or like melt more strawberry pound cake. So loved it for that reason. Definitely would repurchase that or just like actively seek out some more strawberry pound cake blends. This was really surprisingly good. This is Southern Sweet Tea, and it is a tall glass of freshly brewed sweet Southern tea. I said it was a realistic tea scent, medium performer. I enjoyed it surprisingly. So this would honestly be a repurchase for me, and I don't even love tea. I'm not even like that much of a tea drinker. Like iced tea or any tea, it's not a drink that like I go out to a restaurant and I'm like, oh, iced tea, or like I don't buy it at home. So I'm surprised that I liked that as much as I did. We have Peachy Keen, and this I said it was a creamy peach, a medium throw, and I did enjoy this. So this is notes of juicy peaches, citrus, nectar, whipped cream, and vanilla. I possibly would repurchase this, but I think if I'm like doing a peach scent, then I think that Sandra D from Rose Girls has been like my current favorite, even though I didn't get around to melting it this month. But that one was very nice. We also have Frosted Lime Cupcakes, and this is from Southbound as well. It is Persian lime. It got a little wet here, I'm sorry. Lemon zest, meringue, vanilla, and cream cake. And this one was really funny because Tom and I both commented like at the same time that we were like, oh, that's bad. Like, right? That's like, and it's not, I shouldn't say it's bad. There is somebody out there that I know for a fact, there's got to be somebody out there that loves this scent, but I've talked about it before on my channel, and I am somebody that is pretty picky when it comes to lime scents. I need my lime to be super sweet and not like zesty or sharp or bitter. And this was a little bit bitter and sharp. And there was sweetness to it, but you could tell that the lime itself was a little bit sharper because like you could smell like the vanilla and the cream cake, and you could see that there was the addition of the sweetness, but it wasn't enough to like balance out with that like sharp lime, in my opinion. And like Tom didn't like it and I didn't like it. Sometimes you win some, sometimes you don't. But we also both mentioned that this reminded us of like a citronella candle, like the kind you used to get the mosquitoes to go away. So that wouldn't be a repurchase, but I know that there's somebody out there that loves that, and that makes me so happy. It just wasn't a scent for me. This one is Vanilla Frosted Wafers, and this is Vanilla Bean Noel and Vanilla Wafers. I said I really liked it. It was a sweet bakery. I don't feel like this was anything that I would need to like actively seek out right now, but for what it was, I did enjoy it. We've got a ton of Rose Girls, tons. Let's see. Okay, so a few of these were parts of like samplers or samples that were sent. I think these are actually all samples. Yeah, so these were all samples. These first four. I have Wanderlust, which is lavender, lime, chamomile, and cilantro. And I said this was a very unique scent. Almost reminded me of like a cleaner, like something you would use to like clean counters off. Surprisingly, I like this more than I thought that I would. It was definitely nice, very fresh, clean scent. We've got Poison Apple Twinkies, and this was Macintosh apples, coconut, and cream-filled Twinkies. I wrote a lot here. I said strong, but I couldn't say I smelled coconut, but it was a very sweet bakery apple. I really enjoyed and I would repurchase. So this is one that I if I saw come back in the next like Halloween season, I'd probably pick it up. I did like that. This one is Palo Santo and Donut Holes. So I said I really enjoyed this and I would repurchase this one. And it did smell, I mean, it smells exactly like what you'd imagine. Like that powdered sugar kind of donut hole scent, like the very powdery powder, like the white powdered sugar little donuts, the mini ones that you get that are they Hostess or something, like the little packet mixed with like a Palo Santo scent. So I feel like Jenny's Palo Santo is a little bit more on like the masculine side from my memory. But it was a great blend. It was like sweet, masculine. It was like one of those, you see those a lot, and like different vendors carry like the Palo Santo sweet, like vanilla or sweet bakery types of scents. And it goes so well together that of course, I think you would enjoy. I don't know. I can't speak for everybody. I really think that this is like one of those scents that's like anybody would enjoy it. Maybe not though. A scent that I did not enjoy. This is Biolage, which is a matrix type. This is, I think, like a shampoo line, right? I'm not sure. This was a scent that was so, I don't know why I smelled it. This is a scent that was so strong, so strong. And it lasted, I let this one go for 2 days. And then finally on the third day, I was like, this hasn't even like barely toned down. I got to just take this out because it was like making me sick. And this was also one that I put in my warmers, and I put it in before bed in my bedroom in the Yankee Candle centerpiece warmer. And I was so overwhelmed with the scent that I literally had to open my bedroom door and fan the scent out with the door. I was like, it's too strong. It was too strong. It was so overwhelming. If you're looking for a very strong, sweet, slightly sharp, kind of like shampoo scent, I mean, talk about strong. This was the strongest scent in this whole melting basket, like overwhelmingly strong. Would not be a repurchase for me. I also know that there are people out there that love this scent. It's just not for me. And I know that there's also probably people who have like a scent memory attached because this is like a shampoo type, right? And it also kind of reminded me, and this is a weird memory that nobody else is going to have this tied to unless they maybe are also wedding photographers or whatever, or maybe hairstylists. But it reminds me of like the chaotic wedding morning energy when you go to a salon in the morning where like the brides and the bridesmaids are all getting ready. And it's like people are screaming and people are crying and people are having meltdown, but people are really happy. And it's like all of the emotions, and it just smells like perfume and hairspray, and it's it's chaotic energy, right? That's kind of what that reminds me of. So for that reason, can't bring that. Sometimes you need like the opposite of that in a bedroom before bed. And that like totally threw me off that night. But you live and you learn. You melt and you learn, right? I don't know. Anyway, so I have Singing in the Mountain Rain. This one is Amber Floral Spa Rain and Crisp Ozone. And I liked this one. I did like this one. There was like a bit of like this not peppery. Well, yeah, kind of like a peppery, kind of masculine type of quality to this. I don't know what was doing that. There's nothing, it doesn't say peppery in here at all. I'm not sure. Maybe the amber? That doesn't make any sense. I don't know. There was something in here that I didn't love, but I didn't dislike. Whereas like the last scent, I was like, whoa, too much. This one I liked, and I enjoyed it for what it was. But if I'm going to seek out a rain scent from Rose Girls, it's Kissing in the Rain. Kissing in the Rain? The one that's like the floral rain scent. I think that's Kissing in the Rain. Love that. Probably wouldn't seek this one out again, but I'm very, very happy that I tried it. And it was a good like medium performer. This one was also like medium light. Like it kind of was like a little right in the middle of those two. This was sugar cookie dough, cream cheese frosting, waffle cone, monster cookie, and royal sugar cookie. I think I waited too long to melt this one. But it was a very sweet, nice blend of like all of those bakery scents together. I have Star of Wonder, Star of Night, which is Strawberry Euphoria and Serendipity. I said loved, favorite. It's definitely gotten lighter though. So this makes me, it just tells me I need to make sure I'm using my Star of Wonder, Star of Night bags sooner when I receive them. But love that scent. I've talked about it. It's like a strawberry, kind of a jello scent to my nose. And then we've got two coffee scents here from Rose Girls. We've got Starbeans Cafe, which is espresso, vanilla crunch donuts, and vanilla bean noel. So this one is an espresso note. And then the other coffee is salted caramel latte, Cookie Land. So these ones I'm kind of going to compare really quickly. They're not at all the same, but they are similar in the way that it is a sweet coffee scent, right? So this one has the Cookie Land, which is like the salted caramel, toffee, cookies, and maybe like other stuff in there with the salted caramel on top of it. And this one doesn't have like an espresso or a coffee oil. It has the latte oil. So this one, to my nose, came across more of like the super sweet, like sugary sweetness, like caramel type of scent with like the smallest hint of coffee. I love the Cookie Land scent. I love caramel. I'm a huge fan of all of those. But this one, I feel like I wish it had a little bit more of like maybe the espresso. Like if it was salted caramel espresso in Cookie Land, I probably would have like loved this one because it was sweet with a hint of the coffee. But the latte oil, and I've talked about this from Rose Girls, I think is my favorite of like the coffee types. I think it goes her espresso first, then the absolute coffee, and then the latte. Because I just feel like I wish I had a little bit more. But this one, I received this bag from Beth, and thank you, Beth. That was very, very, very sweet of you to send me this. And I definitely really enjoyed it. I should have been blending these two because that would have been the thing I should have done. But this one, I said, was really nice and a sweet coffee, but it was the coffee first and then a kiss of sweetness. And I wanted this to be a little bit more sweet. So maybe if these two were like blended, and I wish I would have just done that, but enjoyed them both. I feel like I always really like the Rose Girls coffee scents. They're fun to try all of them, right? So I've got 3 bags here that are kind of random. I have 1 bag here I finished of the Zape Spring Cleaning, which is clean linen, juicy fruits, and fresh spring blooms. This is a bright laundry with a fruity floral twist. I really like the scent. It's a great scent for when you're cleaning the house. No complaints there. I have Sweeney's Barbershop, which is fresh minty strawberries blended with minty shaving cream. This one isn't a favorite of mine, but also like you might love it. It's just like, it's very minty and fresh, but then there's like a bit of strawberry. Almost reminds me of like the strawberry mint gum that you maybe have come across out there. I know I've had like a minty strawberry gum before. And I like both of those scents like separate, but I feel like strawberries are so like summery, and mint is something that, or like peppermint or any mint in general, really is like a scent that reminds me of winter. So it's kind of like a weird combination for me. But it was a fine performer, but it wouldn't be a repurchase of mine. And then I have Sundresses and Lemonade, and I know this is from Teddy Bees. This is a favorite among so many people, right? It's fresh ozone, air, roses, jasmine, lavender, vanilla, melon, sugared lemon with a fizzy twist. I want to say this is just like a laundry fragrance oil type blended with fizzy pop, right? So this isn't also not a favorite of mine, but kind of in the same vein as the like spring cleaning scent. It's just something that is nice for like a day where you have cleaned the house, you have the windows open, you're letting the breeze through. It's a good scent for like, spring cleaning and like having the house be like, let the air flow through and everything on like a nice warm day. So I did like it for that reason, but I don't know if I would actively seek that scent out for the future. Okay, so I have 1 clamshell that I finished here from Better Homes and Gardens. This is Sugared Caramel Drizzle. I really did enjoy this. It's just kind of like a classic caramel scent. There's not really a whole lot of different dimensions to this. It's just a sweet caramely scent with like a bit of like a maybe, I don't know, maybe like a little bit of a bakery note in the background. But it's just really sweet. Maybe even slightly like a salty note in here, like a salted caramel kind of a scent. I liked it, but I probably wouldn't repurchase that. I have Sword of Destiny from That Smell Good shop, and this was a scoopable, which the scoopables from That Smell Good shop are so strange. They almost feel like sand, like they're pliable in like this weird way. This scent is smoked vanilla and Palo Santo. I really liked this. Tom also remarked that he really liked it. This would possibly be a repurchase. It was definitely a very smoky scent with like a kiss of vanilla. This is something that I probably should have melted more in the winter months because I feel like this was like right on the cusp of being too wintry for me right now, but happy to have used it and enjoyed it. So possibly would repurchase, but more for like next winter because it's such like a warm, smoky scent. I did finish one scoopable here, which I'm very proud of, and this is an old one. It is L3 Waxy Wonders Love Spell Strawberry and Vanilla Bean Noel. And I have a note on the back here, or on the lid. It says, this was old, but performed so good, at least an 8 out of 10, if not more. Love and repurchase. And I will say, once I melted this, it made me feel like I was okay with not pushing to use the scoops up faster. Like I said, I don't gravitate towards pulling them in general, but when I melted this scoop, I was like, dang, if this performed as well as it did, I don't need to worry about those other scoops losing their scent, because this is so old. This is probably like 3 years old and performed so well. This scent is amazing. It's Love Spell, which is like the Victoria's Secret type, but with all the other, like the sweet strawberry and the vanilla, it just makes it like this like elevated, delicious, like almost edible Love Spell. Like, I don't know, you wouldn't want to eat the perfume or the spray, but like it reminds me of like my teenage years of like being in like the girls' locker room in high school, and everybody's, I mean, this is like, you know, my generation, but everybody's spraying Love Spell or like the Pure Seduction Victoria's Secret spray all over like some Bath and Body Works scent, right? It reminds me of this. Very good memories attached to it. Really like this. Would definitely repurchase the scent. One little sample here from Scentsy in Jade and Jasmine. So I love this because now I've got a little kitty cat named Jade. So it kind of reminded me of her for that reason. This is definitely like a cologne type scent for me, in my opinion. I said super strong for its size. It was bright and fresh cologne. I have some more of this scent. I really like it. I'll be happy to use it in the future. Then I've got 2 scents here from K Scented Melts in these little, like, what is it, 1 ounce, right? 1 ounce scent shots. They don't make these anymore, I don't believe. But I have Pine Cones, and this one I said was a medium throw, and I did enjoy the scent. I've melted that before, and I've always liked that one. And then this one was Morning Beignets, and I said that this was on the lighter side, but it was a nice bakery. Probably wouldn't repurchase that one, but I did enjoy it. This one is Birdie's Making Sense in a must-have blueberry muffin and sugared lemon with vanilla custard. I said that this one was medium strong. It was a bright lemon with a kiss of blueberry. So I don't know if I'd repurchase this scent, but because it was like, I wish there was a little bit more blueberry in it, but it was nice. And then this one here is Strawberry Pound Cake and Birthday Cake, also from Birdie's Making Sense. This was medium strong and extra sweet strawberry pound cake. And kind of like how I mentioned with the other strawberry pound cake scent, I just have forgotten how much I like that fragrance oil. So I just wanted to like seek out some more strawberry pound cakes that I have in my current collection to melt sooner because, man, I love that scent. Now, to finish this video, I have all things that were part of the samplers from Zape. So this first one, it came with 6 of these, but I did use 1. But this is pretty much my thoughts on the sampler, I guess, as a whole. This is the coffee sampler from Zape. And the first one I have is Frapperon. And it is almond, macaron, fresh cookies, and espresso. And this, I said, was medium strength. I would repurchase. It came across slightly like a cherried almond, so I did like that one. This one is Cappuccino Pizzelle, which is vanilla waffle cookie, toasted marshmallow, and espresso. Really sweet coffee. I enjoyed a medium performance. I have Central Perk, and this is cinnamon, scratch that, apple cinnamon donuts, whipped cream, and espresso. And I said favorite out of the entire coffee sampler. This was strong and sweet. Apple and coffee is a great combination, and it reminded me of fall. So this would definitely be a repurchase if they bring it back, hopefully in the fall. I would definitely grab more of that. And then we've got Sunday Times, and this is Snickerdoodle and espresso and 27 across, which is like a joke on like crossword puzzles, right? I said enjoyed, medium throw, actually smelled like a snickerdoodle cookie. So I did like it, but I don't know if I'd probably repurchase this one. And then the other one I have here is Magnolia Cafe, which is oatmeal cookies, fresh coffee, caramel drizzle, and sweet cream. And I said, personally, not a fan of the oatmeal note in this one. It was a good performer, but probably not a repurchase. So out of all of the samplers, and I want to say that the other coffee sampler scent that I did melt in a previous video, I think was the, it was like the eggnog coffee blend that was like the Christmas in a cup, I want to say maybe is what it was called. It was like eggnog and coffee mixed together, and that one I really loved. I remember definitely enjoying that scent. I'll have to rewatch the video if it was like a super strong one or not, but either way, I did enjoy it. But out of all of these, I think the one that I would seek out first would be the Central Perk with apples, and then the second one would be the almond macaron kind of one. So did like those. Very happy that I gave that sampler a shot. And then the other sampler that I tried from Zape was the Under the Big Top is what it was technically called, which was all of like her circus and carnival inspired wax. So the first one I have here is County Fair, which is funnel cake, kettle corn, and caramel apples. And I did get through both of these. How I used these were, I like cut each of these in half. And since I had two, I split them in 4 pieces between my 4 warmers in my living room. And when I did it that way, these all had like the same, they were given the same opportunity. Some of them definitely did perform better than others, but I felt like that was a great way to really figure out if I liked these enough to repurchase them in the future or not. Okay, so this one is County Fair. It is funnel cake, kettle corn, and caramel apples. And this one I said was so good and definitely repurchased. This was one that I've had in a larger size and I remember loving it. It just smells kind of like a summer boardwalk kind of dupe from like Bath and Body Works or like one of those types of scents. Really enjoyed this one. Would definitely repurchase this in the future. I have cotton candy, and this is freshly spun strawberry vanilla cotton candy. I said this reminds me exactly of the Body Fantasies cotton candy spray. Absolutely would repurchase this, and I love this. And I also believe that this cotton candy scent is the same as the, there was another cotton candy scent that I have in body care from Zape, which is called something sugar, maybe, sugar, I believe, which is a cotton candy. Definitely love it. If you guys like the Body Fantasy spray scents, then that's like the same thing. I have Banana Split, which is sweet banana, fluffy whipped cream, and chocolate drizzle. And this one I wrote loved and definitely repurchased. I feel like this one was a little bit on like the candied banana more than like the authentic banana side, but I really liked it and would repurchase that one. And I have churros, and churros is warm churro, chocolate dip, and chocolate drizzle. On the opposite side, I did not love this one. I felt like the chocolate mixed with like the churro and the caramel was like it came across a little bit more fake to my nose. And this was like a medium light, so I wouldn't repurchase this one. And then we've got cherry lemonade slushy, which is tart lemonade and cherry slushy. This one I said so strong, very vibrant, a tart lemon, just like the notes say. It's funny because it does say like a tart lemon, and this came across very tart, but added into like that sweet cherry scent. It was interesting. I did like it, but I don't know if I would actively seek it out again. But I'm happy to have tried it. And then this one is root beer flow. This is the last one. I said, the notes are bubbly homemade root beer and creamy vanilla ice cream. And I said I really enjoyed it. It was not too heavy on the root beer note. You could definitely smell the sweetness of the ice cream in this. So for that reason, I did enjoy it, and I would possibly repurchase it. But I like the root beer float scents, or like root beer or like Coca-Cola scents and wax. Like I really enjoy those. So it would possibly be a repurchase. And then let me just really quickly tell you guys like what I would just really quickly like definitely repurchase for the future. So I have quite a few here. Out of all of those, like what I say, like 70 or something wax melts, there are a handful of things that I would repurchase. So for the coffee sampler, the Frapperon, the Central Perk, from the Under the Big Top sampler, Banana Split, Cotton Candy, or Oh Sugar Sugar from Zape, County Fair from Zape, and Root Beer Float. Those were my favorites from that sampler. And then for some other things, I have Southbound Sweet Berry Jam, L3 Pumpkin Pecan Waffles, That Smell Good Shop, Coastal Cal Blackberry and Pandemonium combo. From the Bathing Garden, Lemon Curd and Rose Milk, as well as Sleepy. From Rose Girls, Palo Santo Donut Holes, Poison Apple Twinkies. From Southbound, Southern Sweet Tea and Sugar Rush. From Hayden Row, I would do the Shorts and Sweater just to try it again, as well as Seaside Barber. And from Empire Alchemy, Coastline Trail, absolutely need to repurchase, as well as Locals Only. And then from L3, the Love Spell Strawberry and Vanilla Bean Noel. Definitely, those would all be, all of the ones that I just mentioned would definitely be repurchases and things that I will have to kind of keep on my radar for like the next year, I guess, or so, to see if any of those are brought back, or if I could request some of those, because they're amazing, you guys. So let me really quickly just show you the two wax tubs that I picked up from the Salt Mountain Melts. I'm not going to do like a whole haul because I only picked up 2 tubs, but let me just show that to you guys, and then we'll let you go. I think that she's currently working on the last pre-order, and I don't think I ordered anything from that. I think I was good. I don't think I placed an order for the last one, but I did pick up 2 tubs, which it was funny because in a previous video I was like, oh, if Amanda offers Circus Animal Stuffed Sugar Cookies, then I'm absolutely gonna order, and she did offer it. So this is the one tub that I was like, I placed the order because of this. Then I was like, I'm not just gonna place 1 tub, I'll get 2. So Circus Animal Stuffed Sugar Cookies is Circus Animal Cookies, sugar cookie dough, and frosted sugar cookies. This is a scent that she is very well known for, and it is an incredible scent. Out of all of the Circus Animal cookie oils or like blends that I have smelled, this one, in my opinion, is like the favorite, like the most authentic, most well done. It really smells like the pink frosted circus cookies, like the ones that have like that frosting on it with the sprinkles. It smells just like those when you're warming it. It's like next level. It's delicious. And then this one is Black Magic, which is blackberry merlot, cedar, amber, sandalwood, smoky whiskey, tobacco flower, marshmallow, and patchouli. Love the label on this too. Love the colors. And this one is a Around the Campfire dupe, I believe, which is like a single fragrance oil that's got all that stuff in it. It's an amazing oil. I'm 90% sure that is what this is, but it's incredible, and definitely wanted to get some more of that. So got those, super excited, and it did come with 2 Zots, I believe they're called. I'm like rolling my eyes and laughing in my head because I've been holding on to them for the longest time. And then literally last night I ate them because I was just like, I was craving something sweet, like something like a sweet candy. So I did eat those, but it had like a blue raspberry one and a cherry Zots. And those are so good. There's like, thinking about it now, it makes my mouth water. And I'm not a person that eats a ton of candy. It's rare that I have any candy. But man, those were so good. Oh, so good. Anyway, when I get candy in my wax melt orders, it makes me so happy because I never buy it for myself. I'm like, this is an amazing treat. Like, I never would have gotten this for myself. So it's always such a great surprise. So anyway, that was all I got from that. And then, like I mentioned, overall for my low buy, I did just purchase a few things from the Teddy Bees ready to ship sale. Ugh, I was having a really bad day when that went live, and I wasn't going to order, but I was having a really bad day. So I went off my low buy and I only ordered 3 things. So it was like not that big of a deal, but I'm still a little bit like, Alexis, you didn't need to order those. But they're going to be here soon, and then I'll share that. But that's life. So anyway, thank you for watching. I'm sure this was a very long video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you're all doing well. And I will talk to y'all soon. Bye, guys.